In one of my last jobs, I negotiated my job offer and managed to get nearly 50 grand increase in salary. I discovered that when it comes to negotiating job offers, 85% of people who actively negotiate are successful. It means that if you don't ask for what you want, you are essentially missing out on free money that could be yours. Hi guys, my name is Chi and I've worked in investment banking and tech. I created this channel to help you with personal finance so you can earn more, save more, and invest wisely to achieve financial freedom. In today's video, we're going to talk about something that's often overlooked when it comes to earning more, negotiating for a better job offer. I'm going to share 5 practical tips that I personally used to successfully negotiate my salary, and you can also use them to get the pay that you deserve. The first thing that I did was to not accept the initial offer immediately. I know it can be tempting, especially if it's a job that you really want and worked hard for. When I got a job in tech that I really wanted, the offer was really decent and it was a lot higher than my previous job. Honestly, I could be happy with just that, but I'm glad I didn't make that mistake. Recent survey shows that 59% of Americans negotiate their job offer, and for women, that number is even higher at 68%. It can be scary and intimidating to negotiate. What if the employer gets offended and withdraws the offer? Or what if you come up as too demanding or greedy? Well, here's the good news. It's almost never a case that companies would withdraw your offer just because you asked for more. Any HR professional can tell you this. Companies typically spend thousands of dollars in the hiring process, and it's actually more cost effective for them to give you an increase rather than restarting the process. Plus, negotiation is a great skill that any employer would be happy to have employees that can bring such a skill to the job. The difference between negotiating and not negotiating your salary can be a life-changing amount of money. In industries like tech, salaries for the same job at the same companies can vary by tens to even hundreds of thousands of dollars. I personally experienced this when I discovered that a good friend of mine who had a similar position at the same level in the same company had a starting pay that was $30K less than mine simply because he didn't negotiate. And it made me feel kind of sad and disappointed that companies can get away with paying people a lot less for the same job. I think it's partly because of the lack of transparency and compensation, but that's a topic for another day. That's why it's important to advocate for yourself. So in my case, when I first got the phone call from the recruiter that I got the offer, I said thank you so much for the offer and I'm very excited for this opportunity. And then I asked them if I could have a few days to consider the offer more thoroughly. And they was totally okay with it. When it comes to salary negotiation, the more specific you can be, the more likely companies will accommodate your request. One way to do this is by doing your homework, research on market rates for your position, use websites like Glassdoor and PayScale. These websites can provide good insights and help you figure out a minimum acceptable salary range for the position. Another way that I did was reaching out to my school alumni that were working in the company through platforms like LinkedIn, because as current or former employees, they may have more accurate data into the company's compensation practices, and I did get some very helpful responses from these people that I reached out to. Once you have a minimum acceptable number in mind, it's a good idea to add at least 10% to that figure when making your request. For example, if the average salary for the position is $70K, you should aim to negotiate for at least $77K. This will ensure that you have some room for negotiation later on. Once you have the number you want, then you need to build a case to support it. And what do I mean by this? Put yourself in the employer's position and help them see why you deserve what you're requesting. You can highlight things like your relevant experience, tangible contributions that you can make, and how you can add more value to the companies and its customers. And if you have any competing offers or pending interviews, mention them as leverage as well. So in my case, I emphasize my hands-on experience and the specific technical skills that I had that directly apply to the jobs. That means that I can hit the ground running from day one, and that also means that I can save the companies thousands of dollars in training. When you present your request, it's important to make it clear to the employer that you are genuinely interested in working for them. Be gracious, be polite, and show your enthusiasm for joining the team. And after all, you don't want to give them the impression that you are too difficult to get and that you are wasting their time. So while mentioning your options as leverage, also express your willingness to accept an offer under certain conditions. This shows that you are open to finding a common ground and willing to reach a mutually beneficial agreement. When it comes to a job offer, there are multiple aspects of a job that can greatly impact your satisfaction, and they can often be negotiated more easily than salary alone. It's important to not get too fixated on money. Take into account the overall value of the deal, including factors like location, flexibility in work hours, growth and promotion opportunities, perks, support for continuous education, and so on. So in my own negotiation, I looked at the complete package, including not only the base salary, but also on-high bonuses like cash and stocks. And after negotiating, the company agreed to increase my base salary by $12K, an additional $10K in cash bonus, and extra $30K in stock bonuses, with the stocks invested over 4 years. This made a total increase of 52 grand, and to me that was a lot of money, and it happened because I was willing to go through this uncomfortable process of negotiation. But remember, how much you can negotiate depends on different factors like the company, the position, even the current economic conditions. So be flexible that you may not get exactly what you requested, but still it's always worth expressing what you want. In the worst case scenario, they may say they don't have the budget for it, or there's a cap to this position's salary, but you should not lose the offer just because you ask for more, as long as you're reasonable with your request. So there you have it, 5 practical and proven tips for successfully negotiating your job offer. If you found these tips helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It's all completely free. And if you have any other tips on salary or job offer negotiation, please comment down below. I would love to hear your success stories. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.